Let's dive straight in.
The human-shaped AI machine.
The company NVIDIA is building machines that look, act, and think like humans, and that's both fascinating and fragile. Picture a sleek humanoid robot standing in an industrial hall in 2025. 1.9 meters tall, limbs moving smoothly, eyes scanning the room, learning on the job. NVIDIA's Robotics and Simulation Division says their general-purpose humanoid robots are designed to adapt to human-centric urban and industrial spaces. How did we get here? Years of GPU scaling, neural networks, and motion capture data led to robots that can imitate human physicality. Their robotics research group, DAR, works on models that learn from videos, motion capture, and large-scale human demonstrations. In one incident in March 2024, NVIDIA announced a hardware and software platform called Project GR00T that combines generative AI and robotics to build machines that can act on language, video, and human demonstrations. Imagine a robot in a factory being told, "Pick up that red box, place it on the belt, then check the screen." The robot perceives, plans, and executes once thought to be uniquely human. Today, the consequence is obvious. We are setting the stage for machines that could operate as humanoid coworkers, companions, or assistants, which shifts how we think about human intelligence. And if these machines become common, the lines blur between human labor, human thinking, and machine thinking. The next chapter will dive into how the hardware and software make that possible.
From chips to synthetic minds.
The journey from silicon to synthetic minds isn't sci-fi, it's already underway. In 2024 to 2025, NVIDIA introduced the three-computer solution for physical AI, one for training models, one for simulation, and one for deploying on the robot. The training supercomputer uses GPUs like the DGX with H100/B100 chips. Simulation uses OVX and RTX GPUs. Deployment uses Jetson boards built into robots. Why does this matter? Because intelligence isn't just code. It's data, compute, simulation, and embodiment. Take the motion capture videos. NVIDIA's DAR group collects human movement data, walking, grabbing, turning, and uses it to train robots to imitate humans. One dramatic moment. At an internal demo, a humanoid robot trained via simulation picked up a wrench, used it to turn a bolt, transitioned to picking up a box, placed it on a conveyor, all in one flow. The big consequence? When machines have both hardware capable of human-like movement and the software to plan and learn, the human difference shrinks. For 18 to 22-year-olds watching this, imagine your robot coworker in 5 years. Same height, nearly same movement speed, almost human decision loops. That's the game changer. Coming up next, creating actual digital humans, faces, voices, presence that mimic people.
Digital humans, faces, voices, and presence.
Imagine a screen in 2025 with an avatar looking you dead in the eye, speaking your language fluently, reading your tone, responding like a friend. That's the realm of digital humans, and the tech is dominated by NVIDIA's ACE suite, Riva, speech, Nemotron, language models, Audio 2Face, facial animation. These digital humans aren't just gimmicks. They're deployed in customer service, healthcare, virtual training. The background. For decades, game avatars and chatbots existed, but they lacked lifelike presence. Now developers use generative AI, massive language models, realistic face rendering, and motion capture to create characters that feel human. NVIDIA says this allows companies to build shopping assistants, bank tellers, learning instructors, all digital avatars. One incident. A retailer deployed a digital human avatar that replaced human e-commerce chat, handling thousands of real queries in multiple languages with near-human expressivity. This matters today because we are increasingly interacting with humans who aren't human. That changes our behavior, our trust, our sense of authenticity. For you in your early 20s, the voice on the helpline might already be a digital human. And when robots adopt the same system, the distinction between digital, robotic, and human becomes blurred. Up next, how human motion and behavior training makes it all plausible.
Training robots with human motion.
Picture a lab in 2025, cameras everywhere, a human actor replicating tasks, turning a screwdriver, opening a box, stacking items. That's the training ground of the future. Firms like NVIDIA's Dayer, data-driven AI for robotics, capture human motion, scene interaction, real object manipulation to teach robots how to act like humans. The scene is dense. Dozens of video cameras, motion capture suits, mixed reality environments, all feeding data into simulation and then into physical robots. Background. Traditional robots followed rigid programming. Now the switch is imitation learning plus multimodal data. For example, a robot learns by watching humans, by video plus depth sensors, then tries the same tasks. NVIDIA describes it as learning by watching humans to bridge human and robotic intelligence. One concrete incident. In mid-2025, a robot outfitted with the GR00TN, one model executed tasks in a warehouse that it had only seen in simulation, stacking crates without prior direct programming. The outcome. Robots are no longer just tools executing fixed routines. They can adapt, learn, respond. For you, this implies that the machines you might work alongside could learn on the job, take over tasks that once required human training and intuition. The next chapter digs into why major firms are pouring billions into this human intelligence mimicry.
Corporate strategy. Why big tech builds human-like intelligence.
Here's the blunt truth. Companies like NVIDIA aren't just chasing shiny robots. They're chasing power, profit, and scale. Why human-like intelligence? Because human behavior is adaptable, generalist, communicative, skills that machines have struggled with. By making AI human, the market opens to new domains, service, care, retail, companionship. The context. Historically, automation replaced repetitive physical labor. But human cognitive and social skills remained hard to automate. Now, with human mimicking AI/robots, firms aim to expand automation into those domains. For instance, NVIDIA's platform for humanoid robots targets heavy industries as the next wave. One clash. Labor unions in certain factories push back as robots trained by NVIDIA begin taking roles once thought human only. Real conflict in 2025. A European factory pilot deploying humanoids prompted a worker strike over job security. The consequence is growing. This isn't sci-fi, it's strategy. For you entering the workforce, jobs you imagined safe might be targetable. Companies staking bets on digital humans and embodied AI mean the workplace could shift drastically. And if a machine thinks, moves, interacts like a human, the question of what counts as human work shifts. Next, what that means for ethics, society, and you.
The ethical and social fault lines.
It's not just about robots, it's about humans, society, identity. When machines start acting human, serious issues crop up. For example, the anthropomimetic turn in AI means systems increasingly mimic human patterns and interaction. That raises risks, manipulation, identity confusion, trust abuse. The scene. In one scenario, a digital human avatar is used in therapy or companionship. But if you can't tell it's a machine, how do you feel? The background. Researchers find that when agents self-disclose, humans empathize, even if they're bots. Incident. A chatbot built on human motion data answered thousands of young adult emotional support calls, with some users believing it was human that caused outrage when revealed. The consequence? We face questions of authenticity, consent, job displacement, privacy. If robots can replace caregivers, tutors, colleagues, what happens to human roles? For you, your relationship with work, friends, even screen interactions may shift. And if artificial people become commonplace, what is human anymore? Coming up, the provocative what-if scenario of machines actually becoming like us.
What if they actually become us?
What if the machines cross the line from tools to peers? Consider a robot that not only moves like a human but reasons like one, recognizes you, adapts to your habits, turns into your coworker or roommate. In 2025, NVIDIA's GR00TN1 model was demonstrated guiding a humanoid robot in autonomous tidying and reasoning tasks. The background: the evolution of robotics plus AI plus simulation has steadily narrowed the gap. Incident: a startup using NVIDIA's platform built a humanoid that could carry out 75% of a warehouse worker's tasks within 3 weeks of deployment. Why is this interesting? Because if machines become generalist, thinking and moving humans, then the boundary breaks. Human versus machine blur. It matters to you, your friendships, your job, your sense of uniqueness. The consequence? Society might treat these machines as humans or fear them as replacements. Then the real shift: you're competing not just with algorithms, but literal physical intelligence machines. Next, we'll look ahead to where this all might go and how you engage.
The road ahead: human plus AI or human replaced.
We're standing at a junction. On one path, humans and intelligent machines collaborate, each leveraging what the other does best. On the other, machines replace humans in many roles. The place: factories, homes, offices in the late 2020s. The details: NVIDIA's robotics, simulation, digital human tech all point toward machines that can think, move, interact. The background: tech investment, training data, generative AI, all coalescing. Incident: in 2025, one factory reported a 40% productivity boost after deploying humanoid robots trained via NVIDIA simulation systems. What does it mean for you now? If you're entering the workforce, your value lies in creativity, empathy, what machines can't yet do, or in guiding or working alongside machines. The consequence? The question, are we creating humans with AI intelligence, becomes less metaphor and more literal. Because companies are building human forms, human brains, human-like behaviors, in the end, the future isn't predetermined. You will matter. And how we choose to integrate, regulate, and cooperate with these machines will define humanity's next decade. If you liked this deep dive, hit subscribe and drop a comment with what future video topics you'd like to see next.